The weird thing is, now I'm exactly where I want to be. I got my dream job at Cornell, and I'm still just thinking about my old pals. Only now they're the ones I made here. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
Being an adult kinda sucks. I mean, sure, there are a lot of perks to being an adult. You get to be independent, maybe start drinking, get a job, or live on your own. I don't know, you think I know what it's like to be an adult? I certainly don't, nor do I look like one. Let's face it, becoming an adult gets pretty depressing. Sure, being independent may be great, but if I had to describe the experience of becoming an adult, it'd be like going to the nether unequipped with armor. Yay! You made it to university! But like in Minecraft, if you speedran going to the nether, trying to slay the ender dragon without prior experience, it is pretty daunting. I grew up an introvert like me. Transitioning from high school to university was really challenging, especially since I didn't have many friends starting off. I've often found myself in times of sadness, reminiscing in my memories of high school. Of course, there were challenges then, but it wasn't as difficult because my friends were in close proximity. I yapped to my counselor about my issues from time to time, but that sense of community there once was, it just feels like an empty hole in my chest. So why do we miss being kids? For me, a lot of it is nostalgia, but this may range depending on the individual. Simply be the blissful ignorance that we miss, the connection, or maybe it was just more fun than being an adult. I think one of the issues that has influenced this longing to be a kid, though, was loneliness. So, what is it we do when we feel this lonely? Personally, one of the things that I found has held me back immensely is a god-awful app known as Instagram. If you're an insecure and anxious person like me, you'll know that Instagram and social media in general basically feed off that shit. It's like an energy leech. It sucks the energy and motivation out of you to do anything else. You're surrounded by glorified images of people's lives, and it just makes you feel worse since you compare yourself more and more to other people, and it acts as an escape from your problems. The most important thing that I found has helped me is joining communities, whether that was through church, reconnecting with old friends. Having something outside of school makes life much more fulfilling. After all, we are social beings. We thrive with other people, but I realized that it's important not to solely thrive because of other people. To me, social media platforms as a whole exacerbate and enhance the need for external validation, whilst at the same time suppressing any sense of internal validation. In many cases, but not all, you're thriving for other people rather than for yourself. One of the main things I struggled with entering my first year of UBC was the pressure and stress of managing all my courses along with my hobbies. For me, it was easy to be caught up in my studies, but I would find myself getting burnt out easily. I simply forgot to make the time to do the things I enjoyed. I find this is one of the main issues of becoming an adult. You're faced with so many decisions, maybe even life-altering, to the point where you may even feel paralyzed. That's one of my gripes with the first year experience. Many students forget to have a life outside of school, especially if you're just starting out. Even if that means you have a lot to study for, that doesn't mean you have a life if you're just constantly staying inside, studying for a biology test or whatever the fuck. You're draining yourself by excessively studying. Hell, I was one of those people. I was too locked in. I was studying, but I wasn't touching grass, nor was I talking to other people. Of course, I recognize this is easier or more difficult depending on what course you are taking, which is fair, but still, you gotta at least have one hobby, bro. For me, it took crash out after crash out to finally realize the only thing that would make me feel better and less dead were, funnily enough, the things that made me feel alive and have a sense of purpose. Imagine you're a dude sitting in a chair minding his own business, but the longer you sit in there, there's a donkey kicking shit at you behind your head. Are you gonna ignore that donkey? No, not unless you're a masochist and enjoy the sweet scent of shit. If your mind is feeling exhausted, listen to it, just like the donkey, and move the fuck away from your desk. Do something other than read biology terms all day, or psychology terms all day, or whatever the hell you study. Reward yourself from time to time. Don't sit at your desk it is just going to be life draining. Becoming an adult, you may question yourself a lot. I certainly found myself asking a lot of questions. Whether that be through decisions you make, the people you choose to date, or the media you choose to consume. It is true when they say comparison is a thief of joy, because I personally found these decisions to be heavily influenced by the people around me. For instance, even when it comes to the most trivial thing, like choosing to study this many hours or using this particular method to study, I compare myself to people who study for countless hours. I compare myself to people who are in STEM. Even if I'm just doing fucking French homework or English, I compare myself to people who are, aspiring engineers, computer scientists, and I'm just studying psychology. I would have thoughts like, am I doing enough? Or I don't feel like that was enough work. Or I would just overall just be dissatisfied no matter how much effort I would put in. Another example of comparison for any romantics out there is dating and the constant need for a partner. A lot of people seem to feel pressured into dating because people around them are hooking up or in happy relationships or making out, whatever. As I mentioned before, thrive with other people, not because of them. Yeah, it's great to have easy access to new relationships and whatnot through these dating apps. But if you're doing it to replace someone, they're just quick fixes, especially if you have just gotten out of a relationship. I could probably do a whole video about this, but to put it into perspective, imagine a broken vase. You can glue it back together, and from the outside, it looks pretty solid, but it's still fractured and broken on the inside. It's not until you make or buy a new vase or build one that it will have a solid, refined structure. It's the same with dating. If you're still broken from a relationship, you can't expect someone else to fix it right away. You have to start a new one. Take the time to make that new vase and be completely refined. Well, fuck. Being an adult is really complicated. So should I just give up? Well, no. Stop being a little bitch. I was immensely depressed when breaking up with my ex a month ago. But if I hadn't reached out for a helping hand in the depths of depression I was in, I would have continued falling. Never forget that you have people that are there for you. You have family and friends that care about you. If you know someone who is struggling, just talk to them. It's okay. If life bites you in the ass, so be it. Bite its ass back.
Take my heart.